Hello there, fellow YouTubers. Once again, this is your friend Commodore Urban, and thank you for joining me again on this episode of Commodore's book review. And the book I want to review with you today is a book about a controversy surrounding the Titanic disaster almost right after she sank, and I'm talking about the theory of the switch. And the theory of the switch basically is that when the Olympic was damaged by the HMS Hawk, they took, the damaged ship and turned her into Titanic, and the Titanic became Olympic and an insurance scam for money. Well, I'll tell you right now, there's a book I just read that puts that bullshit to rest, and it is called Titanic or Olympic, Which Ship Sank? The Truth Behind the Conspiracy by Steve Hall, Bruce Beveridge, and Art Braunschweiger. And this book basically lists the theory that was created by Robin Gardner in a book, The Riddle of the Titanic. And basically, these three gentlemen, what they have done is they investigated this conspiracy theory from every angle, from every known angle that they could look at, like the evidence, the lifeboat evidence, the window of opportunity, and finally, the photographic assessments. Because you gotta understand, these two ships were different, as you can see in multiple photographs, even though the Olympic and the Titanic both were sister ships. But they weren't identical. I mean, they were nearly identical, but there were a lot of differences. Like you see, there's Olympic's forecastle deck. There's Titanic's. And there's just numerous little details. Like I'll show you. In the one section in the book that's really good, that's showing, is this section, Almost Identical Sisters. And it shows every known fact. Like Olympic, 1911. And there's another picture of Olympic again, 1913. Showing the differences went through the ship. See? There's Titanic. There's Titanic again. But you see here? Titanic had small round windows up here in the front. Olympic, all her windows were squared. And their big difference was the fact of the bridge. This is Olympic as originally built. This is Titanic. The deck house went further and the bridge wings went over 18 inches over the sides. Olympics originally, when she was built, were flush. And she had a round bulkhead in front of the wheelhouse. Titanic's was squared off, which Olympic would later receive. See? Rounded bulkhead here. You can't even see in here, but it was squared off. And another detail that is different between Olympic and Titanic, the skid lights. Titanics were round and Olympics were oval. See? This is the pipes on Olympic, the pipes on Titanic. The thing is, there were so many little differences, you can see. See? Multiple differences between the two ships, like right here. The skid lights. Skid lights on Olympic were oval in shape. On Titanic, they were round. There's another picture of Olympic. See, skid lights never changed. Let's see here, look. This is the Olympic's raised deck area. This was Titanic's. See, there's a Sirocco fan right here. Olympic never had a Sirocco fan unit here. So, see? And the details keep going, numerous details. Olympic. And finally, there's a really nice section here that shows the two sister ships, Olympic and Titanic. And it points out the differences in between the two ships, as well as all the stuff from Olympic. See, everything for Olympic was marked 400. If it was Titanic, it was marked 401. See? Right here. tank cab style. See, there's Olympic in 1913. This is Titanic. Titanic, and this is actually Olympic, sorry. This is Titanic. Olympic, Olympic, Titanic, Olympic, Titanic, Titanic, Olympic, 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 Titanic. See? Like right here. Olympic, Titanic, Olympic, Titanic, Olympic again. See, there are multiple differences, and look, see? Olympic, Titanic. And there's actually other sections too, like a pretty good chapter on the history of the Olympic, which I really liked. It really showed some really pretty pictures in this book, especially when she's all dazzled up. I think these are really cool images of Olympic. It's herself. And like right here, see, she did get some of them promenade, some of them staterooms on the B deck, but not until about 1927, 1928, almost at the end of her life. And you can see, this is one of the saddest pictures of her, when she was basically nothing but just a massive hog. And finally, you know, the Britannic. Basically, a chapter regarding the Britannic and her saddened state. And there's actually this really cool line drawing of the Titanic, at the stern of the Titanic, in the end notes. So yeah, basically this book, as you can see on the back of the book here, it says the Titanic sinking is one of the most famous maritime disasters of all time. But did Titanic really sink on the morning of the 15th of April 1912? Titanic's older sister, the nearly identical Olympic, was involved in a serious accident in September 1911, an accident that may have made her a liability to her owners, the White Star Line. Since 1912, rumors of a conspiracy to switch the two ships, an elaborate insurance scam, has always loomed behind the tragic story of Titanic. Could the White Star Line really have switched Olympic with her sister in a ruse to intentionally sink their mortally damaged flagship in order to cash in on the insurance policy? And the thing is, the insurance policy the ships carried was a £1 million insurance policy, and the cost of building the ships was over £1,500,000. So it didn't make no sense to even destroy a ship just to get £1 million, because the rest of it was carried liability of White Star. With detailed analysis backed by 200 illustrations, diagrams, and plans, this fascinating book by three world-respected Titanic authors lays bare the famous conspiracy theory and answers the question, could it really happen? And they proved that it cannot happen. They proved that this theory is a big pile of bullshit. And that's all it is. But I will tell you right now, it is actually quite an amazing book. Very, very amazing book. I love this. I thought it was just a great book just because you know, besides the fact, you know, the theory being a pile of bullshit, but this book explains all the differences between Olympic and Titanic in detail. Like I just showed you, all these amazing pictures and just all these amazing pictures and just the content and stuff too. It really shows the true differences that these two ships were. Even though they're built from the same plans and blueprints, Titanic and Olympic were two totally different ships. And so, for this book, I give this book 5 stars because it was just one of the best books I've read that compared the two sisters side by side, physically, in every detail possible. So yeah, if you can, it's called Titanic Olympic, What Ship Sank, The Truth Behind the Conspiracy. Read the book, you will love it. And I hope you enjoy this book review with the Commodore, and I hope you enjoy it. If you do, leave a thumbs up for me, and if you have any questions or comments, leave them in the comment section down below. And if you like my channel, hit subscribe. Until next time, this is your friend Common Urban saying, have smooth seas and clear skies, and happy sailing with you.